Florida Republican Congresswoman Cammack, a member of the House Homeland Security Committee, thank you very much for joining us. Just heartbreaking to see what is happening down there and that so many continue to make this dangerous journey and those children that are losing their lives as a result of it.
No, it just breaks your heart. I think that we are at that point where everyone, regardless of your party affiliation, recognizes that there is nothing compassionate about the open border policies that the Biden administration continues to allow. You think about these children that are not only in grave danger as part of the crossing of the border, but the exploitation that they face, sexual and otherwise. It's heartbreaking. And we have to first and foremost secure the border if we're going to end the exploitation of these kids, the death of these migrants as they're making the journey. This is a national security issue. This is a humanitarian issue. This is a public health issue. We need to start treating it as such.
And it's no longer just a border community issue. We're seeing this all over the country. And we're also seeing how New York City continues to handle the busloads of migrants that are being sent here. 5 more buses arrived in New York City from Texas just this morning, Congresswoman. This is the most in a single day. Texas Governor Gov Abbott's calling out Mayor Eric Adams' hypocrisy in a New York Post op-ed out today, writing, quote, Adams talked the talk about being a sanctuary city, welcoming illegal immigrants into the Big Apple with warm hospitality. Talk is cheap when pressed into fulfilling such ill-considered policies. He wants to condemn anyone who's pressing him to walk the walk. Mayor Adams likes to sloganeer that this is America and we need to start acting like it. Damn right, we are a nation of laws. It's time to start enforcing them. This is a battle royale, and the governor of Texas does not seem to be halting these shipments of migrants to the Big Apple anytime soon.
No, I mean, I chalk this up to you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And in this case, Mayor Adams in New York City, he has championed himself or fashioned himself as the law and order mayor. Well, now it's time to start acting like it. So for him to bellyache about the fact that now illegals are flooding into the city and taking advantage of the sanctuary city status that they enjoy, well, there you go. You won a stupid prize. And there's nothing compassionate or bold or moral about enforcing or perpetuating this whole narrative about, oh, well, we're a sanctuary city, we take anyone in. You're basically punishing the rule followers, aka the taxpayers, and then you're rewarding those that are breaking the law, aka the illegals that have come here illegally. So Mayor Adams, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, they need to stop complaining. They got exactly what they asked for when they claim to be champions of the illegals that have been flooding Texas and Arizona and New Mexico and California for a long time. So they're going to get
everybody in a tough position, there's no doubt. Congressman, I want to move on to this. White House Chief Medical Advisor Anthony Fauci is now defending himself in a brand new interview and his handling of the COVID pandemic as he prepares to retire at the end of the year. This was with Neil yesterday.
Do you regret particularly the last one, the shutdown, the sweeping shutdown that some said made things worse?
No, I don't. I didn't shut down anything.
This wasn't a way to avoid Republican investigations if they take over the House and or the Senate.
Not at all. Not even a little bit. I mean, I have nothing to hide, and I can defend everything I've done and every decision I've made.
Well, he is certainly defending himself there in that new interview, Congresswoman. Republican lawmakers are promising, however, to investigate him and other Biden administration officials if they take control of Congress in November. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy just said this.
I imagine he'll comply. What will be interesting, Jesse, is how many more in the administration will resign before we come to power in January. The Homeland Security Secretary of others. The Democrats have been deceiving the American public, so Republicans are going to demand accountability.
He's defending himself, but is it defensible? I mean, to say that he didn't call for any shutdowns, roll the tape, as many already are, on the many times where he did support the shutdowns in this country, Congresswoman.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's just simply not defensible, his position and what he has done. Keep in mind, this is the same man that was doing photo shoots for the covers of magazines while simultaneously telling Americans across this country that they couldn't be with their loved ones while they were dying alone. This is the same man who continued to act as though he were above it all and saying, well, this is what we're going to do and you're going to do it, even though the science and the data is a little bit shaky. And when questioned about his connections to the gain-of-function research or any of the science that was a little bit questionable, he became infuriated. This man needs to be held accountable, and his resignation does not mean that he's exempt from coming before Congress and us getting answers that the American people deserve for all the faulty information and guidance that they published. And again, thousands of Americans today had to die alone without their loved ones by their side because of this man's arrogance and his complete self-righteous attitude. He will be held accountable. Well, mark my words.
Washington Examiner's Sally Pipes is writing in an op-ed about what we need from our post Fauci public health officials, writing this: shuffling the bureaucracy, giving it even more power and throwing yet more money at it will not fix the systemic problems that were revealed during the pandemic. Instead, Congress needs to hold hearings and make additional funding contingent on real reform that would return the CDC and other public health bodies to their core mission, fighting disease, which should have been its mission all along. Final thought, Congresswoman?
Absolutely. There needs to be an entire shakeup from the CDC and their faulty guidance on COVID to the FDA and them basically killing the infant formula that we had, the supply here in the United States. It's been a mess. NIH, NSF, CDC, and the FDA all have a lot of work to do to get right back on track. So we're going to be holding them accountable, getting answers, and fixing the problems that have plagued them for so long. We're going to take this up.
Kat Cammack from the great state of Florida, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Sandra.
All right.